Hi, welcome to my channel. So I've made a junk journal and it's a bird themed journal. It's quite a mini journal, A5 size. I do have a lot of sticking out pages and it's quite bulky. So I've just tied it with string. This is quite a strong string actually, and I've used mixed matte medium at the ends so that it can be tied and untied quite a lot without fraying. Put that to the side. Okay, so the front cover this is just scrapbook paper from The Range, which is a fairly cheap shop in the United Kingdom. This is washi tape from Amazon, and here the spine is bound, however it looked a wee bit messy, so I covered it up, and this is just book pages that have been monoprinted using a jelly plate. So this is another book page that has been jelly printed. It's actually got copper tones in it, which I really like. It gives it a bit of sparkle, and some Payne's grey. So this is just a wee pocket here with some green ink around the sides, a little yellow flower that I literally got over 200 little flowers for about £2 in The Range. They were having a sale. So this is a very old book. Now I'm sure it's the 60s it's from. It's a Hamlin book and it's basically birds in the UK. And it's a gorgeous book because it's got a lovely glossy finish to it, and each page is has 3 rows of pictures, and it tells you about the birds on the other page. These birds are not those birds. But anyway, I've just included that because it means you can add to it, you can journal on it, you can back it, you can cut it up and make tags, whatever. This page here, I had scrapbook paper left from the front cover, so what I've done is I've just made a belly band that goes over the top, as you can see, and there it is there. This paper has been kind of I basically set up a tray and I put watered down dark umber acrylic ink in it with a splash of yellow, and it's just gave this lovely finish to it. I creased the papers as well so that it gathered in the creases. This is a penguin postcard. It's not related to birds, however the colour scheme was nice to go with the journal. So, and that's just inked up. A lot of stuff's just been inked up. This is a tag. When I was in The Range, they also had wedding invitations that were down to 25p for 10 with envelopes. So I was like, well, that's perfect cardstock. So anyway, again, using that book page, I've cut up one of the bird pictures. I've just went round the sides with kids' shaping scissors. This is an old, now I want to say entomology, now I'm not sure the exact correct term, but it's basically a dictionary, but it's a specialist dictionary. It's very old as well, and what I've done is I've punched a hole at the top. I haven't mastered the skill of eyelets yet, so that will come, with a little kind of muted gold ribbon and string that were just leftovers. On the back, just more of those jelly plate prints, kind of trying to keep green as the main colour in the journal. And this is that same dictionary book with, we're at the W words. I just basically rounded the corners, folded up the bottom, and I've glued it in, but I've left the top a wee bit loose just in case you want to slip something very thin behind it. Now this wee sticker is not sticking down. This is just a sticker. It's almost like a washi tape type material that can be removed. I will add some matte medium to that. This is just another wee set of scrapbooking tags that I bought, and I've rounded corners and stuck that down as well. This is a little journaling spot. This is scrapbook paper from the range, and this is just a doily, and I've put some of the distress inks sorry, round the sides, and I've just wet my fingers and smoothed it round to give it a bit more of a blurred effect, and a little journaling spot on the back with my you know, watered down inked up pages, acrylic inks, and a little bit of scrapbook just to add a little bit of an embellishment to it. This is another little journaling spot. This is just scrapbook paper again, with a little bit of this paper used as an embellishment, and on the back this is just brown packaging paper. And another book page. I'm not sure that this is a jelly print. I actually think this is a page that I've wiped paintbrushes on when I've been painting. I keep everything. Like, I have a box that's filled with the tiniest little scraps, because a tiny, tiny little scrap like that can just add so much interest to something. This is another of the scrapbooking paper from the range. This is just a set of little butterfly stickers I had. Some of the green ink stamps. I like this page. It's really quite interesting actually, because there's a few bits, and also there's the potential to add a lot more. Now this is an Edith Holden page. I'm sure it's a reproduction book rather than an original book. However, I do love the way that they have the patina, I'm sure that's the word for it, going round the sides. Now, I had used that stamp to cover this, but actually I'm still thinking about how I'm going to manage this. I may change this to string, because what I've done is I've put a little journaling spot here. And as you can see, so this can be removed, but it's not that, I think it's a bit of an awkward way. I might put a little pocket in instead for it. Will-o'-the-wisp. So I'm not sure what specialist dictionary that was, but it was specialist enough to talk about will-o'-the-wisp. Another little bird pictures. So like I said, the cardstock I used was those wedding invitations, and what I liked was round the edges they were a very nice pale grey with just little white delicate doily type designs on it. So I felt that you know, it just works really well. This paper, I have made it look, I should have left it alone, because actually it had a lovely brown edge to it itself just through age, but with the ink I've made it look a lot more aged. I haven't done anything to this page apart from fold in the edges, because I mean, that picture speaks for itself. It is a moorhen, and it fits in perfectly. This is an old map book. Now, I'm sure this is from the 70s. It's old enough that a lot of the European countries now have their old names when they were more joined together. So, it feels really nice actually. Now, this here, this page is actually, you'll see it when we go further on. This is an old, I sell second-hand books on eBay, so I have access to a lot of very old books, and some of them are too damaged to sell, or they don't have the value to sell, so, you know, I just keep them all and I use them. So this page was a children's music and rhyme book. Apologies, my camera stopped recording. So I was talking about this children's book and poem and music page. Yes, it's a very long horizontal type book. So when I remove the book pages from the books, I try to keep them joined together So this is a double page, if you like. So I folded this page in half on itself, and then I folded it back on itself to create two pockets. In this one here, I've just put in, this is a little scrapbook book that I bought on Amazon, and what it is each page is made of washi tape, and you cut out the designs, which I'm not so keen on because it does leave little white bits around the edges, but then you can ink that up, or you can spend time going closer. I just use a cutting board that's not quite A4 but nearly A4 size, and I got it with a little knife and blades, and it cost me £3 in the range, so you know, it was worth it. So I would use that to cut these out, and then obviously it can just be decorated throughout the journal. This page here is, now I'm sure this is card that was maybe, you know, like packaging that you would have something in plastic on the front of it. Just one of them. This is a bit of scrapbook paper, and this is a jelly plate print, and you can definitely see the copper tones here. This is a bookmark that I found in a book. I find so much stuff in books and I keep it all. Just using a little brayer, put a little strip there to cover it up. I like this little back page here because it's actually got the contents page numbers on it, and it just adds a bit of interest, and it almost wants to make you list on it. I think I had too much stuff stored on my phone because I'm having to take this part of the video again. Anyway, so this is a little Scrapbuster notepad. Oops, don't like a dog ear. Notepad that I made with the acrylic ink watered down. A bit, do you know, it's splashes of acrylic ink and water in the tray, and I've dipped the papers in. But I've creased the papers before I've done that so that all the ink dries in the creases. And I've got little paint marks as well that I think these pages might have been what sat underneath when I've been painting, and so it catches the edges because there's quite a straight line to them. These papers are the best papers. I've just decorated the top of it with brown paper and a ribbon that I got in the sale. And this is bookbinding thread, which has got a waxy finish to it. It's a lovely burgundy colour actually. So I've just punched 3 holes. I've did a figure of 8 binding through it, and then I've tied a bow, which took me a long time, and because bows are such a pain and this doesn't need to be opened, I've actually used the matte medium to seal it to the top of the page so it keeps its lovely shape, and I just love that. So there you go. Oh, and I just cut round the edges with the kids' scissors. I will need to invest in proper scissors because using the kids' scissors too much isn't, it's, you know, they're not as good as they were when I first started using them. So this page here, this is just purely for decoration. I just wanted to add a bit of colour to it because it's black and white to black and white, and the red goes with the green as well. It complements it, that's the word. I actually think this has got a bit of copper and bronze in it. So this is another of those wedding invitation tags. Again, I've really made the paper look a lot older than it is with the ink around the sides, and this is just a lovely yellow and green backing, which actually really matches the colours in this picture, and it gives it a lovely summery feel, which I really like. These are really sturdy as well. I always put a bit of matte medium around the outside to seal them. I know a lot of people do sewing, however, with all my art stuff and my bookshop stuff, a sewing machine takes up a lot of space. I don't know how to sew. I would need to learn, I'm sure, the basics I could learn the basics, but I don't know. Right now, I just don't have the storage capability for a sewing machine. And I'm quite happy doing hand stitching. Obviously, it would be nice to be able to go around the edges. Anyway, I digress. Now, I used this just, you know, thin paper in the middle, and that's a lesson learned that it's better to use a stronger paper in the middle because the binding has pulled away at this paper. So what I've done is I've actually doubled it up, and I'm going to seal the bottom of it, and I've made a pocket, and then here as well there's another pocket here. Now this is a big coffee table book, and it's got such beautiful pictures in it, and ideally I should have used this as the middle page because it's very, very strong, thick paper. It's got beautiful artwork on it as well, and what I've done is I've doubled it over to this side, which it has a side pocket here as well, and that picture continues, and it's just beautiful. Actually, with the wee cranberries, are they cranberries or are they holly? I'm not sure. Anyway, but it's got a little bit of a Christmassy feel actually, which wasn't my intention, but there you go, summer to Christmas. Yeah, I also wanted to cut a circle shape here. However, when I cut the half circle on here, I've not made a very good job of it, and I didn't want to ruin this picture. I'm going to get a circle punch, and then I'll put a punch on it then. So this is this kids music and poem book. Oh, I just love it. It's just got a lovely feel to it as well, and some lovely bird songs here. And then this picture is just beautiful, and it's a mum bird feeding the baby birds, and it's just lovely. So this is a picture I did many years ago. It's every time I pull it apart it sticks. So it's a peacock. It's made with oil pastels. I clearly did it too big for the sheet of paper because what I've had to do is actually stick on papers to finish the picture. This is just kids drawing paper. I was going to back it, but I actually think this itself is actually very interesting because it's got lots of the oil pastel marks on it and just the marks from having been handled throughout the years. And what I've done is I've put matte medium all over the top of it, and it's given it a lovely oilcloth feeling to it. It doesn't, I feel like it does stick together a wee bit when it's folding, and I might need to store it somewhere else. But apart from that, it's very sturdy. That's a lovely space to work on the back of that. Again, the rest of the map. Now this is the Edith Holden page. I've just I've turned the side of it and in itself, but then I've actually also put a wee lip in here with it as well, just to again to make that bit there more sturdy. Now this is some of the map. I love this map. There's 5 wee loops here with the string, and then there's this bit here for hanging it. Oh, I'm looking forward to being able to do eyelets, just not there yet. So this is packaging cardboard. It's very flimsy corrugated cardboard, however it is quite sturdy, and it's almost like a little board that you could lean on with this. Now this is jelly prints on tissue paper, and to me it's an abstract stormy landscape, but with abstract art the painting is entirely, what the painting is entirely in the viewer's eyes. So another scrap busting notebook, just again little paint marks on it. Oh, I like this one here. It's off the edge of a paper, definitely. It's been sat at the edge. Anyway, yellow book paper at the top, and more of these little flowers that were a bargain. There you go. Now this here, I've made a belly band from packaging. do you know, I don't even remember what that packaging was from. Anyway, tissue paper from packaging, and what I've done is I've put vellum on the back just to give it a crinkle, and to also to make it sturdier. And that's just some washi tape on the top. Now I wanted a much larger frame on this, however it just wouldn't fit in anywhere, so I had to cut it right down. This was a very long peacock feather, and I cut the top of it off. I got 3 for like 70p. Again, this is a jelly printed book page underneath, acetate on top. You can get 10 sheets of acetate for like £2, and I'm sure they're like size 12 by 12. This book page on the back is from a very old book. You can tell, see the way the brown is so, it's right across the whole page. And what's happened to this book had a lot of value, but somebody's took the last page out. Why? So even in the olden days, people took the last page out of books, and I think they do it just to be annoying. And this page here is the last. So this is just a little side pocket I made, and these are little scrapbook papers from AliExpress. Now, this was the first time I've ever shopped at AliExpress actually, and I got a lot of stuff. I did wait about 3 weeks, right? But I was really bowled over by what I got for the amount of money I paid. So I do recommend it, but like I say, I've only used it once. I like these because most of the stuff I chose from AliExpress was a Victorian theme, and because I do have a lot of books already that have like flowers and nature and, you know, a lot of history as well. So I didn't just want to keep doubling up and all that. I love this tag. I think it's my favourite, one of my favourite jelly prints for sure. Again, this is a packaging card. It's quite sturdy. In fact, that itself could be used as a kind of, you know, a board to lean on when you're writing. So it's got ink around the sides, and I just love the way this jelly print has came out, because it's like an old wall in an old dilapidated house. Just the kind of grungy, grimy look to it, but at the same time it's still quite nice and bright. And this is just a book page cut into 3, just to add a bit of interest. I've just included this. It's out of that Specialist dictionary. I love how the patina at the edges fades into the middle so perfectly. I mean, you couldn't recreate that level of fade. It's so perfect. Yeah, this is foreign words though, so I can't read any of them out to you. Jupiter pluvius, rain bringing Jupiter wet weather. There you go. We all learned something new today. Sorry, I like them to sit just so. So that was that. So for my next junk journal, I'm considering an old Hollywood style one, sort of Marilyn Monroe era. I have a lot of old film books, and I just think that there's, you know, that would be such an interesting time to look at. I chose the birds for the first one though, because when I was growing up, my dad had an aviary in the garden, and the birds chirping is just, it's just a memory of childhood. And the house I live in just now, well, my forever home, one of the neighbours has pigeons, and I hear them clucking away every morning, and you know, it makes me feel good. So yep, so that's why I chose the birds theme. And birds are just beautiful. I mean, look at that. So many colours in one tiny little being. Anyway, I digress again. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.